Right, so this one is just another update on what's happening and where we are.
It's more of a detailed update video.
So it is, I think, Wednesday morning.
Let me check because I don't know what day it is.
Our days at the minute are just merging.
It's Thursday.
Oh, wow. See what I mean?
Losing track of time.
Obviously, we spent days in the hospital and we went like 2 days with no sleep. So it just felt like one day.
And I'm still not really sleeping.
And then we've been here and obviously we've been travelling around back and forth and sorting different things out. So having to sort someone with to have the dogs and sort everything out at home, and then obviously we moved into the hospital, so I'll quickly show you. So this is the room, that's the spare bed, Harlow's crib, and that's our bed. No, it's not made, but don't judge.
At least I'm worried right now.
Yeah, so we stayed here. We finally got a bit of sleep last night, although the beds, you may as well be sleeping on the floor, but it is what it is. We managed to get sleep, and that's the main thing. Harlow absolutely
Harlow's struggling.
hated it. Now, the problem we got at the minute is Harlow's ill. I don't know whether he's also got what Halle'S got, but being that little bit older, I think he's able to manage it a little bit easier. You can hear it when he's coughing, but the difference is obviously he can cough the stuff up that's on his chest or lungs, like he's coughing and coughing the phlegm and that. So he's struggling because
And
he's
there's
not well.
not really much we can do because we are in Nottingham and we are in the situation we're in, and we have to be here with her. We can't just go. Like, with the situations he's in, we can't just leave.
Obviously,
But Harlow might be going back to Birmingham over today or tomorrow. Potentially, we're going to see how it goes.
we don't know. But the thing is, obviously we've got him, so we're all here. But obviously, if we're on the ward and he starts playing up, because he's been a little bit naughty, he doesn't really understand what's going on. Obviously, any
He's
kid
cooped up in a hospital.
in a pushchair who's having to be in a pushchair quite a bit, he's going to get restless, he's going to get pissed off, isn't going to want to do it. But we kind of haven't got much options, do you know what I mean? So if he plays up on the ward, we end up having to just come out. So the good thing now is we're only down the corridor in the room, so we can kind of keep coming back and forth from the room every time he plays up, let him out, let him have a little run round and a play. We've got some of his stuff here. But yeah, that's the situation with that. But Hallie, the first bit of, I wouldn't say good news as in there's been a change, but it's not bad news, so that's the main thing, isn't
So
it?
basically, there's not a change, but she's stable.
She's stayed the same. So obviously, every day that she's been poorly, she's got worse and worse and worse, and they can't keep this at a certain level. They can't get the readings where they want it. This oxygen's not worked. That oxygen hasn't worked. This what do you call it?
Ventilator.
This ventilator's not working, so let's try this ventilator. So everything is just one thing after another, and it seems like, oh, don't worry, this oxygen's not working, but we've got this one. Then we find that doesn't work. This ventilator's not working.
Then they
but
try
we've
to do
got
on the
this one, and
ventilator
that
that
doesn't work.
I don't know what it's called. I'm not even going to try and say the word. Basically, shakes the lungs. She couldn't take it, so they've had to take her off it and put her straight back on the other one. And because she couldn't take it the first time, they now can't retry her with it at any point. There was another route they were looking at going down if she doesn't start to improve. It's something called
It's a lung,
ECMO.
It's a lung bypass.
So
basically.
I think it's called ECMO, something along the lines of that. They're saying, look, that's a last resort thing, and there is only 3 or 4 hospitals in the whole of the country that do it, and if it comes to that, she will have to go where that hospital is, and that could literally be hours and hours away.
Update, Hallie should be having a cast took off today, because obviously Hallie was having cast done every week without fail. Then the one week, the people that did the casting, one of them wasn't in, I think it was on holiday, so they said we're going to leave this cast on an extra week, and it'll be fine just for an extra week, and then we'll take it off. So then that should have come off
Last week.
Yeah, last week, I don't know, but it should have come off. So obviously because she's in here,
Today should have been a appointment that we went and got it changed.
so we've made a phone call to the hospital that was dealing with it, and they says, can we speak to the people here and get it off, because of how fast Hallie grows at her age, basically kind of stunt the growth. Obviously, if her leg's stuck in a cast, it's not got room to move. It's already been in there
It
for
cuts off the circulation
over
with
2
how
weeks.
tight it gets.
So the cast will be coming off. Now, update for Hallie is she hasn't got worse. We haven't had any more bad news, and it's actually stayed the same. And at times, sometimes they can drop the oxygen, even if it's only by like 0.5. That's more positive than having to constantly add it by 10, 0.5, whatever.
We have just
So-
come back to the room because
That's the first
the
bit.
breathing tube that she's got in is too long, and when they're trying to do, I don't know what the word is, but they're doing physio in regards to doing stuff down here,
No, it's when
and they need to get the
When they draw it out.
secretions or whatever it's called off the chest.
they put a tube down.
A heart rate
to
skyrockets.
draw it out. The tube that's going down is touching the nerve because the tube is in too far down. So as it touches the nerve, it causes the heartbeat to drop. So because it's dropping and it's dropping really low, they're gonna mess with the tube that's in itself, so it's not as far down.
Her heart rate has been very much unstable the whole time. Today is the only day it looks like it's stayed stable. I'm talking, it's been going over 230, and obviously for a baby her age, it shouldn't really be going anywhere over 150. So because if she's unwell, the consultant dealing with her, like, there is one main consultant, and he's so open and honest when we ask questions and stuff.
I did speak to him.
yeah, he said compared to the average cases that they deal with, they said they deal with babies that have to come in because of this every year around this time, but compared to their normal, she's severe. She's really, really poorly.
Because I said to him, obviously when we was at Good Hope Hospital, we just got fobbed off the whole time. I said, so even if it's something that most parents don't want to hear and you're trying to put it across the best way you can and basically sugarcoat it, I says, I don't want you to do that with us. I says, I want you to skip the bullshit. I says, and just tell us how it is. I says, if it's bad, I want to know it's bad. If there's bad news, I don't want you to do what, obviously his job is to, like, for the care and trying to be as soft and gentle when he's telling parents bad news. But I says, I don't want that. I says, I want you to just lay it on us. So, like, if you've got something bad to say, I want you to
We just
just come
need
and
to
tell me.
know what we're dealing with.
If I ask you a question, I want to know. Like, I want to know without you sugarcoating it and trying to not kind of hurt us having to hear it. So when we was talking to him, I was asking him, like, on the scale of what you're used to dealing with, where do you think this is, where do you think that is, where do you think this is? And every answer was basically, she's at the severe end, this is bad. But I says, I've asked the question, I've told him I don't want him to bullshit us, so I respect him for being straight up and honest with us. It's what we wanted to know. Obviously he was the one that was talking about maybe if this didn't work, going down the route of a lung bypass.
Is that what it's called? There's
Yeah,
a
that's what
name
it is.
for it. It's called, I think it's
a
called
bypass for the lung.
ECMO or ECMO, something like, I don't really know.
But at the minute, it's not looking like she needs that touch wood at the minute. Although she is back on the original ventilator, the one that said wasn't working, hence why they tried the second one. But the physio stuff that they're doing is helping. It is freeing up stuff that's in her chest and her lungs, and they are able to draw quite a lot of fluid out of the lungs and draw out the gunk through the nose and that. So once they're doing that, that is helping with the pressure, and the pressure is then dropping. So yeah, that's where we're at. Just thought we'd
There's
give you
not
an
really
update.
much to update you on in regards to that. I do want to touch upon one thing. I know so many of you who follow the TikTok accounts mean so well with the comments when you're saying, don't worry about updating us, just take time out, blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to touch upon that because it's more for myself. I struggle really bad when something is going on in my life, and if I don't talk, I will shut down. So I know you guys mean well, but just know from my point.
2 seconds. Back again. Sorry, the video just needed pausing a second.
Yeah, so from my point, I completely understand that you're just looking out for me, and you don't want us feeling like we have to come and update you. It's more for my own well-being for me to talk, so I don't shut down, so I don't completely just, I don't even know what the word is.
I don't think it's just that though. I think, like, people saying, like,
just,
you don't need to be updating TikTok, but it's kind of like
Oh,
our
you're
little
so-
escape with it.
Yeah, it's for us more than anything because it's what we're going through. But also raising awareness because I just want parents to know how severe RSV is. Now, I had a comment on my new account a couple of days ago saying basically, it's your fault your baby's got it. We as the public shouldn't be doing anything to protect your child. If you feel that bad about it, then maybe you should just keep your baby in the house. And this right there it just shows what kind of person you are. It's not my fault my baby's got RSV. It's people like you who do not care about anything around you or anybody else's well-being that will happily cough and sneeze and whatever without doing anything to prevent spreading the germs. Like, I just want parents to know we are coming into the peak of RSV season and it can happen to anybody's child. Like,
I think a lot of things in life, it doesn't matter what you do, sometimes things will always happen. You can try your best to avoid something from happening, but it doesn't mean.
But one thing I will say, you can't avoid RSV. It's nobody's fault if your child catches it, but people can prevent spreading it. If you are due a baby around this time of the year now, be the voice for your child and say no. So if you've got people, I know having a baby is such an exciting time and people are so excited to meet your baby, but if anybody around you who wants to meet your baby is even showing the slightest sign of a runny nose or anything else, say no. No. Do it for your child, because this was the reason why I've been quite closed off in regards to Halle'S seeing people.
Can I just stop you there a second? I just think it's so easy to see videos like what you're going to watch now of us and be like, oh, I feel sorry for blah, 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 and look at it, but you never think it's actually going to be you. Just like we've watched that many videos in the past and you get sucked into it and you're watching it and you don't actually think
you'll ever be in
you're
that situation.
going to be that person. Obviously, like, it's just different until it actually happens to you. Then it's like you're now that person that you've watched and you've seen the pictures of someone's child who was fine 1 minute and then they've gone to the doctors, and it's the classic thing, and you see it all been sent away from the doctors, then they're in hospital, then they're in intensive care, and you see the photos and you'll scroll across them and be like, oh wow, and then it's just a case of whether that person lost their baby or didn't, but you don't ever think it's going to be you, so it's easy to just be like, oh yeah, and then forget about it.
RSV is absolutely fatal to newborn babies, very young babies, and children under 1 are at the most risk of severe problems. Children older than 1 can catch RSV and can need help also. So if you as a parent in your gut feels that your baby is not right, do not listen to nobody else. Listen to your parent instinct, your mum instinct, your dad instinct, whatever it is that's telling you that your baby is not okay. And do not move until they check that baby properly, because I'm just glad that I listened to my instincts. I knew on Saturday morning Hallie was not okay. At first I thought I was being a little bit paranoid because she wasn't extremely bad Saturday morning, but she was bad enough for me to have the concerns. Come Saturday evening, we had to take her to the hospital. Something I said in the morning, I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, but we're going to have to keep an eye on her. Obviously it came to that. I knew still when they sent us home on Saturday, in my heart I knew she wasn't right. I knew she needed help. I could see with the way she was breathing. Also, when you have a NICU baby and that baby has been in special care when it's born and they need help with breathing, you kind of see the signs when a baby is struggling and needs oxygen. So because of we're NICU parents and she had an issue with breathing when she was born, it was easier for me to spot the signs with breathing this time. And there is a fair few symptoms you need to be looking out for now. Head bobbing, sucking in under the ribs, neck retractions, and I'm talking here, look here. Fast breathing are all signs that your child or your baby is in respiratory distress and they need some help. So if you've got an unwell child and they start doing these things, then please just take them. Don't even mess about with the doctors. Just go straight to the A&E because the chances are that baby or child needs help with some oxygen. They're really struggling to breathe. I will eventually, once this nightmare's over, come and touch upon all of the signs that I picked up on Hallie.
Well, yeah, we'll do a different type of video.
We'll do that after, because I have been asked what is RSV and what symptoms should I be looking for. And I just feel like if you have a platform and you are lucky enough to have a social media platform where you can spread awareness, use your platform for the right things. We are obviously stepping into the RSV season now. Obviously, we are currently in the situation we are in at the beginning of November with Hallie, and she's where she is because of RSV. I know us just sharing a little bit at the moment while we're also going through it might be helping some of you look for the signs, because this could be anybody.
I just want to quickly say a big thank you to everyone who's been watching our videos and sending us all the comments, all the nice messages, and keeping Hallie in your prayers. We'll also say Nottingham Hospital, the longer we're here, obviously the more we kind of getting about and kind of getting our bearings with it and finding what's what. They've got an amazing, the staff are amazing, the facilities are amazing. It's also got a co-op which is very handy, rather than having something like a Smith's or a Marks and Sparks.
You don't normally have a shop in a hospital.
You've got like a co-op in here which is really good, especially when you're staying, and you can get quite a bit from there. There's also a cafe, but the cafe it does everything, so it does like sandwiches, toasties, breakfast stuff, jacket taters, pastas, pick the toppings of what pastas you want poured on it. It does like Greg's items, like classes like sausage rolls and steak bakes. It just does
You've also
everything.
got like a Costa in here as well, and I've never seen a hospital with shops.
Also today on when we go through the double doors into Picu, we've also found out today that there's also actually a full-on playroom that's a sensory room for Harlow, which has got it's got everything. So it's got all the spongy mats, it's got the beanbags, it's got the lights, it's got telly, it's got
Loved it in there.
12 boxes labelled of this one's sensory toys, this is cop toys, this is musical toys, this is this is that, and like everything in there was right up his street. It had like a massive lamp that, like what we had at home before, where it was like it had a fish lamp. It was blowing like little balls, which was like the beanbag balls that was inside. So it was going through the centre and then pouring out almost like a snow globe and dropping down. But it was lit up as well. So like all that sort of stuff, he loved it. But then obviously he went mad when it come to coming out of it. But the facilities here are amazing. The
I
staff
just
are
think
amazing.
the staff, honestly, Hallie's in the best hands.
Like they have said to us, if a bed comes up in Birmingham, like we will look out for you. And to be honest, if a bed comes up in Birmingham now, we're settled here and we've got our own room. We're only down the corridor.
And they don't need to free up a bed space in Picu. I'm more than happy to stay where
I don't want to go to Birmingham because we're here
just feel
because
like
of
the
Birmingham.
treatment in Birmingham is a lot different to what we've experienced here.
Yeah, and I don't want to go into it on this video, but
Well, that's a different time. It's not a concern.
But I can't fault any member of staff in the Nottingham Hospital, and I'd highly recommend it. And if you ever go through a similar situation and they mention coming to this hospital, even if it's a journey and it's far, I would highly recommend it.